Diontae Johnson was just traded to the Baltimore Ravens, and today we're going to get his first look in a Baltimore Ravens uniform at practice. We're going to watch him run some routes, work through some drills, catch some balls, and everything else. But before you do, you need to click that subscribe button right now. When these players get traded, when they come back from injury, we try to get that first glimpse from practice. We cover it right here on the channel. We help you with fantasy football, with the waiver wire, setting your lineups on there, and everything else. Click that button. Stop missing out. But we're looking at Diontae Johnson, our first look here as a Baltimore Raven. So like what we always do, we're going to loop through these clips, watch them, and also talk some ball, and then talk some fantasy football. So a little bit of everything. But nothing surprising here because we know his game. He is a very sudden mover. You're seeing him quick with the feet, with the 18 on. No drifting with the feet. Very smooth. He's a very smooth player. Quick off the line. I know it's a little jog there, but you know how he is. And he's very assertive when it comes to breaking off the routes. And you see that with the feet. We cover this in the offseason too whenever we find him working out with other people or in camps and stuff, getting ready for the season. He works hard on those footwork drills. And we're seeing it right here. In these drills, even the jog, you can just tell he's got a light pop in the step. Very sudden mover compared to a lot of other wide receivers in the National Football League. Very sudden, crispy route runner. This one's from the Baltimore Ravens. He's got that sweet feet. This is really going to help the Ravens out, especially they're making a run for it, and they got him on a good deal as well from the Carolina Panthers. Sticky hands. Very smart, cerebral player too. Acclimated quick to the Carolina Panthers. That means he can acclimate pretty quickly to the Baltimore Ravens. Talking ball about the Ravens here. You got Zay Flowers. You got Diontae Johnson, and you got Rashad Bateman. Those are some nasty route runners. Nasty route runners. I'm talking funny today for some reason. This is like my 6th video. But nasty route runners on this team. Guys that can get deep. Guys that can break off routes. Guys that can separate. Lamar Jackson is in heaven right now. Because now they got some talent. They can sling the rock. He's back there. It's 4th quarter. Offensive line breaks down or whatever. He knows he's as good as gold. Rashad Bateman is going to get the deep targets. That's what we've been seeing all season long. And now you got Zay Flowers and Diontae Johnson. Short, intermediate, and deep all over the place. How are you going to cover this? Because you also got Derrick Henry just smashing faces up the gut. And when he sees the hole in space, it's lights out. It's lights out. You give him a little bit of wiggle room. And it's not like you can stack the box anymore. You can't. If at all, if you were doing it in the first place, you can't do that against these guys. Because they're going to burn you up. They can roll up with 3 wide receiver sets. On top of the talent they got at tight end. And then you got Lamar Jackson pulling it down and running with it. What are you going to do against these Ravens? When you're talking about fantasy football with these wide receivers, there's going to be an acclimation period for Diontae Johnson. We're seeing it with the other veteran wide receivers who are getting traded to other teams in the middle of the season. We're seeing that. We're seeing a short, quick ramp up. We're seeing that with Amari Cooper. We're seeing that with DeAndre Hopkins. We're seeing this with the other veteran wide receivers. We're going to get that with Diontae Johnson. It's going to take some time, maybe a couple weeks, before we start seeing an 80-90% route participation rate. I believe that's going to cut into Rashad Bateman a bit. Rashad Bateman's still going to be running deep routes, getting deep targets here and there. I think Zay Flowers is going to be fine. Maybe a little bit of cut down, but still, you're going to want all 3 of these guys out there. You're going to want all 3 of these guys out there that are all very good. They're different, but like they got some similarities too. They can put you in the spin cycle real quick. Rashad Bateman can do that. We see Zay Flowers do that. And we know Diontae Johnson can do that. When I think about these guys for fantasy football, we know they're going to cannibalize each other a little bit. Zay Flowers is probably going to be the man getting targets often still. I look for Diontae Johnson just to start weaning in there. Rashad Bateman is going to be Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman for fantasy is volatile. It's just bringing in those deep balls. Like I say, he's got that Will Fuller effect. I think he's still going to have the Will Fuller effect. It might be more spikier, and it might be fewer and far between, but it might be the same. Like, it's just bringing in deep balls, honestly. The volume might be a little bit lighter, but his money isn't on those short targets. It's those deep balls. And those big performances is him racking up deep catches. And it's usually one or two of those. So you might not see much of a difference, and it's hard to start him in fantasy anyways. When you're looking at Zay Flowers, I don't see much of a difference for him, maybe a little. I look for him to be on the field a lot. I look for Diontae Johnson to be on the field a lot once we get around Thanksgiving time or so. That's when he's really going to make his presence felt. Give him a little bit of ramp-up time. We're almost into November. Around Thanksgiving is when you're going to see him more acclimated into the offense. You're going to see him here and there. You're going to see him probably run about 15 routes a game the first couple games, and then it's going to ramp right up. That's what we're seeing with the other wide receivers when we're studying the amount of routes they're running. We're going to see about a handful of routes, probably about 15-ish, 10-ish, 15. I think Amari Cooper ran 9 last week, if I remember right, but he ran a fair bit the week prior. It's all situational, too. They also are good at the tight end spot. They got a lot of talent there from top to bottom. This team is needing this for the deep run as well, so they don't have to push it either. They just have to get him acclimated for when they're ready or when they need to make the push for the playoffs. And that push is going to come around Thanksgiving, early December, and that's when he's going to be more acclimated. This team's going to be fun to watch. This is going to be a very fun to watch team. Lamar Jackson, he's going to be pushing for MVP if he's not already. Like, this is going to be his season. This is the year of Lamar Jackson. That's what we're seeing right now, and Diontae Johnson is going to be a part of it. The Baltimore Ravens are not fair right now. That's the one thing I can definitely say about that. They are not fair. They're going to be fun to watch going forward. Like I said a million times already, I know that, but I'm very excited with what the Baltimore Ravens now have on offense. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.